It is now 12 o'clock, high noon here on the East Coast, 9 a.m. on the Pacific Coast. I now call this version of Kiwanis Connects to order. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to Kiwanis Connects this week. Of course, joining us, as always, from the West Coast, Doc Val. How are you, my friend?
Aloha. I am actually wearing shorts for the first time in like months. We hit 85 degrees out here yesterday.
Nice. Well, the Virginia Beach area early this week hit not one but two high temperature records. 82 degrees on Tuesday, 88 degrees on Wednesday, only for the temperatures yesterday to start in the high 70s and then conclude in the upper 30s with snow and sleet and rain yesterday. We experienced all four seasons in the span of 12 hours here in Virginia Beach. That's right, we did. So today it's chilly, going to go back up to 60s, and just remind everybody that winter's not done just yet. Joining me today here in studio on Kiwanis Connects, she is a co-founder of a local nonprofit that has been around for about 9 years, helping those in need of nutrition. That sounded really formal, didn't it? Instead of just saying food.
Real formal.
Beverly joins us today. Miss Beverly, how are you?
I'm doing great. How's everybody? Thank you for having me.
Of course. In case you caught Aaron's Hour last week, Beverly and Clifton and the daughter Jamila was with us. But, the Kiwanis world was so enamored with your visit with me last Saturday that we said, you know what? We're going to rodeo and hog tie you and get you on Kiwanis Connects. And so here we are. As always, I want to remind everybody you can catch us all on Facebook and on YouTube, and Sunday, 8 a.m. on WWDBTV.com. But in all seriousness, though, I do want to just stop for a moment and send condolences, thoughts, and prayers to all those affected yesterday by the shooting at Old Dominion University here in the Hampton Roads area, Norfolk. I got to tell you how close to home this really hit. The building all that took place in was the building that my daughter previously worked in before she got her promotion to her new department 3 years ago. And thank goodness, yesterday, she was working from home. So it hit a little too close for comfort, unfortunately. Fortunately, the gunman was actually overrun by ROTC members, if you read the news, and subdued. And by the time the authorities arrived, apparently the gunman was, what did they say, was no longer able to do any more damage. So he was deceased upon arrival. Unfortunately, 3 people were injured. One of them passed away later on in the day, one of the professors, and I've not heard anything on the 2 other injured people. Have you?
I have not heard anything either, but Courtney, who you met,
yes,
she used to work at ODU. She just quit last year.
Wow.
And my daughter graduated from ODU. And Jonathan Cares, we used to distribute food at Proximity. It's now called Proximity.
Right. Wow.
To the students. So we were there every week.
Wow. So ODU kind of hit a little closer to home. So thoughts and prayers to everybody affected. The campus was closed, obviously, the rest of yesterday. They closed today.
Yes.
And today was supposed to be the last day before break. They were all taking finals and everything yesterday. And today would have been the last day before spring break. But anyway, hopefully, I know that they have crisis counselors all over campus and whatnot. So, again, be remiss if we didn't acknowledge those affected by that yesterday. Okay, just a quick reminder, not only do we have time we're going to spend with Beverly today and, of course, Doc Val and everything that's going on, we have Melissa Atwell with Mental Health Moments, right? We have Doc Val's Whoa Moments. And considering that on Tuesday is St. Patty's Day, you can guess what my theme of bad dad jokes are going to be. That's right, y'all. St. Patty's Day, bad dad joke themes. So you can figure it out.
Beverly is already shaking her head. So I guess she has seen a taste of what you're bringing up. So
well, she's already endured me on a full Saturday episode of Aaron's Hour. She has seen me in full swing. So she kind of knows what she's getting herself into. Although I have to say, I did not prep her and ask her to have a joke ready because it was just kind of like maybe during a TV break or something. We'll get her geared. She can take one off my list if need be. This way, it's one less that you'll roll your eyes at me at later on. So, okay. So let's kind of get to it a little bit. Let me just give a little background on behalf of this Beverly and company. So, Jonathan Cares was an organization started 9 years ago.
Well, it actually was pulled together in 2019.
Okay.
But we actually were working more
Yes,
than 9
they
years
were
ago.
working on doing stuff for the community when your daughter said, "Hey,
Invisible.
mom and dad, you guys really should do something a little formal." And
Yes.
Jonathan is their son, who at the age of 4 passed away from illnesses, and so Jonathan Cares was created in a way to continue and extend Jonathan's legacy and giving from the heart through the family to this day. And so, with that, thank you for joining us again.
Welcome.
It was
Thank you for having
good
me.
to have you. Absolutely. So, Doc Val, listen, I know a lot of the inside story. Let me throw it to you to get things rock and rolling here with our guest.
Well, one of the reasons that I asked for Beverly for you to be on the show today is because there's always at least 1 degree of separation in our stories and what we share with Kiwanis. And knowing that Jonathan is what it started, you're doing this for the legacy of Jonathan. My youngest brother was killed in 1988, and his name was Jonathan.
Oh my
And so when I
goodness.
heard that you did this in honor of your son, it was one of those light bulb moments that creating a 501c3 is the best way to honor somebody. And when I was looking through everything about you, I really wanted to know, how did you go from having a son who made such an impact on the world with his dwarfism and then going to food insecurities? How did you make that leap? Because you're impacting so many people on so many levels. So how did that leap happen for you?
So I'll try to be short because I can be very long. But
Okay, we all are. Yeah, and say hi, Teggy in Florida. Go ahead.
well, when we lost Jonathan, as you know, it was a very difficult day. And just 5 years before that, I lost my brother as well. And my brother was in a bass tournament. His boat capsized.
Mm.
And so I was in really bad shape, especially, when I lost my son. And so about 6 months after I lost my son, someone asked me to do an act of kindness, really. They asked me if I would be willing to go and talk with a young woman that had a set of twins, because one of the twins had club feet. And they wanted her to allow him to get the surgery. He was just 6 months old. I reluctantly went, and I fought with God all the way there. Okay. So I was battling him at night, battling during the day, but I went. And when I saw this little boy, they were fraternal twins. But when I saw the little boy I needed to talk to her about, he looked just like Jonathan, thick hair, everything. And my heart fell into my toes, of course. And I talked to mom. Needless to say, we got the clubfoot surgery. Okay. After that, it was random acts of kindness where we didn't need to talk about it. We just needed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then as time went on and my husband retired from the military, he started working with a major nonprofit in disaster relief. And so I got to go to places like Hurricane Sandy, Moore, Oklahoma, different places, even Chino, California, doing disaster relief and doing good things. And I saw how the nonprofits do things. And so once he stopped doing that and we were just, our feet were on the ground, like I got these boots on.
Mhm.
These boots are not just made for walking. So we were out there just getting down, right? And my daughter was like, Mom, y'all are always spending your own money. You gotta find ways to look for grants, to be able to do partnerships with other people. But old habits die hard, even when we set the nonprofit up. And even when we agree with her, because I felt like I don't want to be in that public. And now I'm over here with
That's
Karen.
That's the podcast.
It was very public.
So that my husband had 20 years in the military with food service. He did food service and disaster relief. And one of the things that we know is that food should be a human right. That is exactly what it is. And no matter what we're doing, everybody does the same thing in the morning. They want something to eat because you can't function, you can't think. Some people can't move without a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we decided, since he has that background, his mother could make a mean macaroni and cheese. We decided that we would concentrate on food service. But as you go along, your community partners would say, hey, can you take this toilet paper? Can you take this? Can you take that? Well, there's no way to say no because everybody needs toilet paper.
Right.
Let's go there.
Mhm.
Unless you got leaves, you need toilet paper.
If you're Adam and Eve.
Yeah, there you go. And then also people need things like deodorant, toothpaste, or microwave.
Basic necessities.
So we started taking those things too. And it just grew and grew until now I gotta be on podcasts. I gotta be talking to people, which I messaged my visibility expert this morning at about 4 a.m. saying I'm up. My nerves. She was like, "You got this."
Yeah, she was like, "Who else can I bring?" Because her husband Clifton is not available today. He's actually out making a pickup and a run this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Their daughter is actually celebrating their birthday out of the country for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
And Beverly texted me yesterday. She goes, "I got nobody else available to come. I'm going to ask a couple of board members. Is that okay?" I said, "Of course it's okay. Bring whoever you want." I said, "But girl, if you're coming alone, I got you. Don't you worry about nothing. You ain't gonna,
Oh, we got you.
we got you." So she's
Absolutely.
enduring this on her own.
Wingman today. I really appreciate it.
Well, you got the best wingman,
Yes.
wingwoman here for
Thank
you.
y'all
You
for
kidding?
winging with me.
Listen,
Absolutely.
this your project, and I don't mean to cut in front of Val, who will bring this up as well. But your type of project is exactly what Kiwanis really is all about in terms of helping community.
Thank you.
And when you have this opportunity to share, yeah, you're located here in the Hampton Roads area, but Kiwanis is in 80 countries around the world,
Yes.
millions of members around the world. You don't know who's outside of this area. Like, could be somebody in California near Val who knows somebody out here who needs support, and now all of a sudden they have a resource to tell somebody locally that you are here to help them. That's the beauty of having this opportunity, why it's important for you to get your message out on such wide media opportunities like
Thank
this.
you.
So
Thank you. Thank you.
absolutely.
And
So
part of it is because one of the things that you're doing is you've done is you've gone from it being your husband's and your bank and trust, right? Dipping into your savings, dipping into your retirement, to making it a 501c3 that other entities can help finance, because there's something called, compassion fatigue, when you keep giving and you realize at home that your refrigerator is kind of empty, where it's a time to make a change. And a lot of Kiwanians give to the point that it hurts as well. So knowing that, how did you know that it was time to go to the 501c? Was that your daughter going, hey, mom,
Yes.
it already begins at home? How did that work out?
So it was my daughter. She was actually in nursing school, and she felt like, y'all are always spending your own money, and you never go anywhere. You're never this. You're never, all the nevers, the whole list. And she also reminded us that, she's turning into the parent. Really? And so it was her idea. So we went with it, because she's young, and, young people love to tell all of us what to do.
All of us.
So we went with it.
Role reversal.
And we got that 501c3 during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we got our letter. But our boots were already on the ground. Like, we were already hot rolling it. And we had a group of seniors that were looking in our faces every week that we actually had to end up serving outside.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we told them was that when we come, we're going to have the PPE. We want everybody 6 feet away from each other. And don't let me catch you running down Granby with your walker trying to get to Harris Teeter. Because here we come. We're going to be bringing the food.
That's right.
So our boots were already on the ground. We were already rocking and rolling, kicking it out. And you have to remember, too, a lot of the places were closed.
Right.
So the places that have food were getting overwhelmed. We got like 180 some boxes, 15-pound boxes of bacon at one time.
Wow.
Yeah, the seniors were very happy. So
I was going to say, there's nothing wrong with bacon.
Lots of people were extremely happy. But we made it our business during that time to deliver to people, because so many people couldn't get out.
Yeah.
And people were afraid and people were scared. So what we did was we tried to meet that need, because no matter how afraid we are, we're still hungry.
Absolutely.
So we tried to meet that need. And the reason we worked so hard, I would like to explain this. When Jonathan came home, as I told you, he was on full life support. We worked extremely hard to get home, and we worked extremely hard to make sure that he was integrated into the community, and that when we did things, if I had known you when he was here, you would have known him, because here comes the wagon with the post socks, all the stuff, all the things that needed to be in there. So we want to work as hard for people that we serve, just like for Jonathan. And I have to say that old habits, like I said, they die hard. So really, we didn't start really trying to raise money until 2023, 2024 is when we started trying to figure out, well, how do you apply for that grant?
Mm-hmm.
Well, who do we ask? What do we do? You know, because nobody gives you a book when you become a nonprofit. There's no nothing.
But there will be soon.
Yes, thank you. And I appreciate all of that. And there's no like group that you can go to and say, can you help me?
Right.
We didn't know what to do or where to go. So I did do a business accelerator, which kind of helped me figure out some of what I need to do. But old habits still die hard.
Of course.
So we really are just getting into our story and getting into sharing it because, you know, my grandmother told me when I was a child, your praise comes from God. And I couldn't figure out how to separate, how to separate what I'm doing and asking you for all of your money out of the mattress. I just didn't know how to do it. And I felt really weird about doing it. And I've had to overcome that. So those are the things that kept me up at night. How do I ask Aaron Phillips for all of his retirement? I just didn't know how to do it.
Stand in line behind my wife.
Okay,
is how you do
there
that
you go. So I didn't know how to do it, but I'm learning. And these opportunities give me an opportunity to let people know that our nonprofit is for real. And when others are closed, our boots are on the ground.
Right. You're 24/7.
Oh, we are 24/7. We just don't tell the world.
So don't tell anybody.
That's a secret. Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone.
And so we are out there, and we want to be out there helping the community. But so that's how we kind of made that switch, because we realized that the bigger we grow, like we went from giving away almost 5,000 pounds of food recently to almost 7,000 pounds of food. So we're growing, but we realized that our financial infrastructure is not growing. And we can't sustain growth if we cannot have financial stability. And you know something? I'm not comparing us to Wally World, but listen, we're just like, we had to come to the understanding you are just like any other business and you deserve to be funded.
That's right.
Just like any other business.
I'm going to leave it right there because when we come back, we have to go to our first break. We're going to talk about some of those fundraisers that are upcoming and a very successful partnership with one company called Wegmans. I'm sure you've all heard of Wegmans out here. They have been a huge supporter of the cause. You're watching Kiwanis Connects, Beverly from Jonathan Cares, and of course, Doc Val, the best sister. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, Aaron Phillips here from the Kiwanis Connect show. Are you trying to recruit for new members? Do you have a huge event coming up that maybe is your biggest fundraiser of the year? But you need to do something different to let people know that it's happening. The same old gives you the same old routine and results. Well, we've got an idea for you. The Kiwanis Connect show offers the opportunity to have customized commercials created to help your club get your message out. And you know what? One of the extra wonderful points of this opportunity is we provide it as a fundraising opportunity for every $50 donation for the commercial goes to the Rose Float Kiwanis Club. That's right. The very same Rose Float that we see on television every New Year's that represents Kiwanis International will now be supported by these Kiwanis Connects commercials. So, if you want more information to get involved, just drop us an email at KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. That's KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. Get your 30, 60, or 90-second customized commercial today, and let's help the Rose Float Kiwanis Club continue to plant its seeds for success. Peace, Love, and Little Donuts originated in Pittsburgh 15 years ago. Now you can enjoy these little cake donuts right here in Virginia Beach, located at 2105 Princess Anne Road. We have over 60 different toppings to choose from in quantities of 2, 6, 12, and 36. We can take care of any catering needs, such as weddings, business meetings, or Super Bowl party. Call us at 757-301-3564 and let us know what donuts will make your event even groovier.
Have you heard the news? WWDBTV Virginia Beach has arrived. WWDBTV will bring an exciting lineup of shows streaming from our very own Virginia Beach studio. Since we're an affiliate of WWDBTV Las Vegas, our show lineup will also be available on all of the WWDBTV social media channels. We are looking for new and current show hosts, content creators, and our advertisers who would like to take advantage of our vast audience. Las Vegas Entertainer Hall of Fame member Aaron "The Voice" Phillips is building this brand of marketing and promotional platform right here in Hampton Roads. For more information, email www.tvinfo@gmail.com or call 702-286-0063. Think outside the box and let your voice be heard.
All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. Aaron Phillips here in Virginia Beach, Doc Val out in California, and our good friend here in studio, Miss Beverly Zimmerman, from one of the co-founders from Jonathan Cares. Her husband Clifton said, "You're on your own today. I got to move some food," so she's here by herself. Jamil, who's what's her official title? Is she like vice president of something or other? Or I know she does your
treasurer, co-founder.
Treasurer. I knew there was a T in there somewhere. She's out spending the company's money in Curacao or something. I don't know, something like that. And Beverly is here holding her own. She's doing very well here. All right. So prior to break, by the way, for everybody watching or if you're just listening, down on the bottom of the screen, we are currently running the website for jonathancares.org. I want to encourage you as you're watching, listen, I know hundreds of times a day you get these solicitations, but on the website, there's a big yellow button in the upper right-hand corner that says donate. $5, $2, $10, whatever you can do as we go into March and spring is about to hit us. Just jump in there, please, and make a quick donation on behalf of Jonathan Cares or Kindness Day or because the voice said so. I don't really care. Just get out there, hit that button, and go. Okay. So we were talking about fundraising, but before we get to that, Val, I know right before break you were about to ask a question before I so rudely cut you off going to commercial. So let me throw it back to you.
Well, that wasn't a rude thing. It was absolutely perfectly fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and it fits in really well with where we're headed next. And you know, it's just like oftentimes it's difficult to ask because you don't want to be rejected. But one of the things that I noticed when I was looking at all the things about you, because I catch up with Aaron. I don't want to always know everything. And so as we're going through this, you went after some really big fish to ask for partnerships. And so I would like to know about this new partnership that you've got going on online.
So we have a fantastic partnership with Wegmans. And that partnership started before they actually opened. So
Okay. Before you go too far,
yes.
What is a Wegmans? Is a East Coast thing. What is a Wegmans?
It's a supermarket.
Okay.
High end. Yeah, sorry. High end.
I want other people around the world who are watching this to know.
Yep.
So
high end.
An Andronico's or a Vaughn's Pavilion or high-end grocery store. Okay.
Yeah, it's a high-end grocery store that when you walk, we talked about this on the show last week. First time I went into Wegmans there's a Wegmans literally around the corner from my studio. And the first time I went in there, I wanted to run out because I felt like I was in New York City. It is so filled with so much stuff and the people, I mean, they're busy. And you walk in, right? You walk into the left side where all the food and the bakery is. You're like walking in like, oh my God. It's like so many people. I wanted to go running out because it was just so overwhelming. But they have great food, great quality. The people there are tremendous, very friendly. I don't know why they're Buffalo Bills fans, but they've got Buffalo Bill stuff hanging in their supermarket out here. I don't know. I can't figure that one out.
So but let's move back now that we know what it is, because we have viewers all over. And
yes, we do.
I just want to make sure we're all on the same page and people hear your message. So, all right.
Well, we absolutely appreciate them because when we started, they've been here about 6 years. So when we started, they were testing the bake shop. So here we go. Can you imagine a van full of sweets? Oh. I mean, smelling so good. So we would tell our seniors, but we tell the seniors, we tell our college students, we tell our families, the diabetes van is coming on Thursday. Okay? And when you get your sugary sweets, do not eat them all at one time.
That's right.
We're not going to give you any more. But once they open, then they started to give everything. And I mean, cut up fruits, okay, which are extremely expensive right now. The cheese, beautiful cheese trays, vegetable trays, all types of meat, from the chicken foot all the way to Wagyu steak, everything in between. And also those good fresh vegetables, eggplants, avocados, all the good things. And so the other thing I like about them is when we get the food, it looks like what it looks like in the store. So it's not all mashed up and smelling like wine. It is in good shape to where you can give it to someone. You'd be proud to give it to your mother, and so they make us proud every time we pick up from them. But not only that, when you walk inside of Wegmans, it is an experience. Like, I've never been to a grocery store where they have their own parking garage and they have an escalator for your luggage, just in case you're up on the second floor. So
Right.
it is a real experience.
Yep.
We absolutely love them because not only do they give us the food that they cannot give for people to eat for nourishment, it goes to the farms to nourish animals. And then that's not going out there, it's going to be composted. So they're doing the whole gamut, doing everything that they can.
Right.
Even when they have different things that may not be food, they will say, can you use this? You know somebody who can use this. So I love that they keep trying to recycle. Because with food, there's enough food out there to feed everybody. I don't care what lies they tell. There's enough food out there to feed everybody, including the people who are not hungry. Right. You can feed everyone. If you think about what is going into the big green dumpster every day, we could just feed them. So we have had Wegmans for about 6 years. Now, one of our newest partners will be Restaurant Depot. So they give a lot of commercial style foods. So we have to sometimes break that down. Now, if it's a big old jar of mayonnaise, we're not breaking that down.
That's kind of tough.
But
Right.
there's other things that we can break down. And right now, we're actually doing a partnership where we're going to be working with Norfolk Public Schools, and that is community classrooms. And so what we're doing is we're actually preparing food for the meal and the message. And the message is a positive message for the children, for the students.
Absolutely.
Because we got to let them know what time it is. Okay. So we're actually doing that too. And the commercial partnership actually came just in time because we can use a lot of those commercial products for those students. And then we also pick up Panera bread at night. So we get about $1,000 worth of Panera bread every Thursday night. So brought some in today.
I got some samples today.
Just to show some samples. But we do that. And when you add all of this food up, and there's a few other things that we're doing, but when you add it all up, it's about 7,000 pounds of food every week. And we have two major distributions. One is today, where we get that food out there. And not only that, we do our drop-off. So we have our Jonathan Cares food goodie boxes. We actually curate those. So like if you cannot eat gluten, you don't eat pork, you don't eat bread, you don't eat whatever it is you don't eat, it will not be in your box. Ma'am, I don't like the eggplant. Okay, I'll give you some avocados.
Right.
But we also talk to people about the things that they don't like.
Right.
To find out are you allergic? Because if you're allergic, we don't need to talk about it.
Right.
Like peanuts and stuff like that. But if you're not allergic, and let's say you've never had butternut squash, we talk about that. Right. How you can roast that, and
you personalize the experience for what they need, which is terrific.
Val? So we want to make people happy.
Yep. Val?
Do you give out recipe cards or do cooking demonstrations or anything like that? Because I think people just don't understand how to deal with some of those foods that you talk about. And there's, they just look at a zucchini squash and go,
not doing that.
Not doing that.
So we have given out recipe cards. We're planning to get some more printed up for this year to give those out. My husband has actually created a recipe booklet for seniors, simple recipes, things that they can do. And what we'll do on site, if we don't have recipe cards or anything, we'll gather up the things like before they actually come through. We'll gather up a few things and we'll talk about it because we feel like it is important to talk to people. So whether it's seniors, it could be families. And I love college students. I just love them because they have questions. I had a college student that would take anything we wrote. And her famous thing to say would be, now, how do you cook this?
Right.
That was her famous thing to say. So we absolutely want to make sure that the experience with Jonathan Cares is kind of an experience like walking into Wegmans, right?
I love it. I have a friend. Her name is Alexis. I'm going to do a shout out. She does basic needs at Stanislaus State and here in California. And one of the things she realized as they were giving food out to all the kiddos, they're not kiddos, they're young adults on the college campus, is that people don't know how to read a recipe. They don't know how to follow a recipe. So she started putting together 1-minute videos. And those 1-minute videos were a quick process of what to do and then what it's supposed to look like. And so that went along with it. And so there are some, I'm not sure if the grants are still available with the SNAP program and not those programs, but being able to do healthy cooking. And so that's both for seniors and college students alike. And so that may be something that you add in, because a lot of seniors don't want to tell you that they can't read the print on the recipe card. They can't, or they can't read as well as they used to. So the video might be a way to do that, or just a recording and walk them through it where they can back up or something like that. I'm sorry, my brain just goes off at 8 million miles an hour.
I love that idea. I think that's a great idea, because I can actually put my husband on camera.
You can put your husband on camera. And, I know a studio that you can, use if you need to.
Yes. I love that.
One thing that she did talk about before is it takes money to be able to do what she does. And we have a couple of events that we want to make sure we announce. John, if you could pop up any one of the three regarding the car show, let's start with that one. Do we want to do this again? May 23rd, Saturday, May 23rd, is a car show by Speedline Elite Car Show. Why don't you mention what that's all about?
So they have been having car shows for over 32 years, and part of their mission is to help nonprofits. So they use a car show in order to raise monies for nonprofits, and they're going to be raising money for Jonathan Cares at this car show that's going to be on Saturday, May the 23rd.
And you can scan that QR code that you see there on the screen. I believe that'll take them to the registration page for the event. Is that correct?
It will, but you cannot register. You cannot pay for your registration there, because they've had a couple of scams going on. And so you can use that, and it'll tell you more about the car show. But the way you register is you're going to register the date of the show.
Gotcha.
And it's going to be $30 or $20 with a 24-pack of water.
Oh, so if you donate some water, you save some money on the registration. Judging begins at noon, but you check in at 10 a.m. and the event will run till 4 p.m. So that is May 23rd. Now let's bring it a little closer. You have some things going on later this month.
Yes.
John, if you would pop up the hamburger. All right, let's do this one. That's the same one regarding what we just talked about. That's okay. It's a different view and I believe that was, where do they have it? Asphalt Lots. That's where it's going to be held down at Chesapeake on Bells Mill Road. That's where that event's going to be.
Yeah,
all right. March 28th, Speedline. What's a pop-up event? What is that?
So the pop-up event is going to be where they're going to have a couple of cars out there.
Okay.
For you to see what some of the cars look like. They're going to also have some trophies. They're going to have a lot of fun for the families.
Okay.
They're going to have some giveaways with gift cards and other great items for people that come from 5 to 8.
And where's that one going to be?
That's going to be at 21 Burgers, which is at 1505 Lynn Haven Parkway over in Virginia Beach.
There you go. All right. So that's the 28th. And then we come a little closer. You got something going on the 21st, right?
Yes. On the 21st, they're going to have another pre-show pop-up at Lorelei's. So you get to actually meet and greet with some of the car owners and get to see some of those cars. And we're going to have lots of fun with some food. We're also going to have some gifts and giveaways and things for the kids. So it's supposed to be a lot of fun.
And Lorelei's at 5000 Cleveland Street is not too far from where the studio is, right down the street. So that one as well. So there's a lot going on. If you miss any of that information, just roll back and watch the video after we go off the air. You can also check. Is it on the website yet?
It's not on Jonathan Cares yet, but it's going to get there.
It's going to get there. You all can check it out on my Facebook pages, because I'll be putting these up as well. So come on down and support. You're all going to be there.
Yes.
Do they need an MC? Let's talk offline. Okay. So those are some upcoming events. Go ahead, Val, back to you.
Oh, no, I was just laughing because it's like we are all so interconnected in what we do. And I think the hardest part of running a nonprofit is the ask. It is going out and asking for those grants, asking people to give. And I'm always looking to see who is the first big company that you were able to get to support you.
So I think the biggest support, which was a grant, it came from the Blocker Foundation. And they gave us our biggest grant that we'd ever got.
What is the Blocker Foundation?
So the Blocker Foundation is a foundation that's in Suffolk.
Okay.
And one of their pillars is to help people that help people that face food insecurities.
Oh, specific to that.
No, they have other pillars too, but that one was
Gotcha.
the one that we wrote a grant to because we were actually, it was a matching grant
Oh, okay.
for a donor that was going to buy us that 26-foot box truck. Because at first, she thought a truck like that, oh, it's going to be about $15,000. I got that. But then when we found out, oh no, the devil is a lie. It's going to be more like $25,000 to $30,000. So we got a matching grant of $15,000 to help us be able to purchase that truck. Now we got to keep that truck on the road because if y'all have not noticed, I did see some gas for $5.19 a gallon.
That's
I'll beat you. I just saw gas for $9.90 at the most expensive gas station out here, which is along the 1 freeway. And I just was like, okay, we got to still make it.
is that for regular? Was that for regular? But you're talking diesel out here, right?
Yes.
$9.99. There better be gold in that there gasoline.
It is the most expensive gas station, I think, in the country.
Wow.
And so because you can't send a full tanker all the way up, but people run out of gas there all the time. So as we're looking at it's not just buying things, but it's the maintenance. And as you're in a 501c3, it's like people get really excited about helping you when you're brand new because it's really sexy. But over time, they keep going to the next sexy thing. And so what are some of the things that you're doing right now so that you can get more matching grants? Because I saw that you've got quite a wish list.
Yes, we do. So I decided that I no longer wanted to do those hard cold calls. And it's because, like you said, it is the rejection. So I had to understand, and I'm still learning, so I'm still growing, understand how to separate that rejection. And that I felt like it was, if you're rejecting me, you're rejecting Jonathan. So I needed to separate that. And I needed to also understand that it's a business decision for whomever is making that decision. So what I've been doing is asking folks for their soft referrals, because I find that trust is so hard to gain from someone that doesn't know you. But it's a lot easier to navigate and cultivate and all the vates if it comes from somebody who knows them.
Right.
That's
a warm lead. That's always easier. Sure.
And it's so much easier because those cold calls, let me tell you, the gatekeeper got the door like that. You just not getting in. I don't care what you say. And I think because we live in such a lying society where people just lie all the time.
Absolutely.
And then also people feel like, I don't know what you're going to do with this money if I give it to you because I don't know you.
Right.
And I understand that. But in the meantime, Jonathan Cares needs to be able to find those warm referrals that even if they don't donate, they're not shutting the door.
Right.
That they're saying that, okay, well, the pot is cold and empty at this time. However, we'll have more in the pot next year. So they're not absolutely closing the door. So that's what we are looking for, those warm referrals where someone says, you know what, I'm going to refer you to this philanthropist here named Aaron Phillips, and he's got you. Those are the type things that we need. That helps us keep those toes in the door. And I'm still trying my hand at writing grants. So I'm really working hard on that to be able to explain our story, to be able to explain our impact. And that's the biggest thing. Like, I said last time, our currency is our impact.
Absolutely.
And we want to be able to explain that impact.
That's the ROI.
What is it? Like, what are we doing with this food? How are we getting it out there? Yesterday, we had distribution yesterday. My golly geez. It was really, really nice. I love the smiling faces. That's what does it for me. So when someone says that, I've never had that. Oh, it was so good. That makes me happy.
Sure.
Because people need more than just peanut butter and crackers and tuna fish.
Right.
Sometimes you would really like a good piece of chicken.
Yeah.
Or maybe you want a cordon bleu, or maybe you would like a piece of steak. Because when your money is limited, you're not buying steak.
Right.
You're not buying.
You're buying as much as you can for that money.
Right. You're buying the low price leader, the chicken.
Right.
So that's where you are. So we want to let people feel that, you know what? I do care
Right.
about you. You are valuable. You know, your thoughts, the things you want to talk about, it is valuable. Even sometimes when we're delivering,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we recognize that sometimes when we're delivering, well, people want to talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? We do that with open arms. Because when I had Jonathan, you know, sometimes I needed to talk. And
Sure.
those people that became my family, they were those strangers in the beginning.
Absolutely.
You understand? So we try to extend that hand, not just, you know,
Here's
dropping
your
the box
food and
off
off
and
you
I
go.
got to go.
Right.
Because
Mhm.
sometimes we're the only face that somebody gets to interact with.
Mm-hmm.
And we never know what is happening.
Well, relationships like that is food for the soul, where you're delivering food for consumption, and that's important as well.
Well, there's dignity within your program, and that, you know, it's like I was part of I was the executive director for something called Gathering for Women, where one day a week we provided white linen service to homeless women and made sure that they felt, here's a place I'm safe, I'm valued, and I am able to sit with women from across the community and just break bread. And so when you provide food that looks like food, when you provide food that other people take for granted, it gives that sense of dignity and hope that is really, really special. And so as I look at your model for what you're doing, you are that shining star, not just in Norfolk, but now you're going to be that shining star across the globe, because there are other organizations that are going, okay, we're not just doing something called Glean. And I'm not sure if many people know what a Glean is, but it is the third time people go through agricultural fields. And so those are what go to charities, and the growers write that off. So it is the ugliest lettuce you've ever seen. It's the ugliest, you know, tomatoes and carrots. But you're giving them that beauty, and that people see that value. You know, food is a love language, and being fed and feeding your people is a love part of the love language. And so you are speaking love, and your volunteers are speaking love every time they go out. And so that's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Kathy. Dignity is important. And I want to do a shout out to Bob Larson, because he's traveling from Michigan to Sacramento to be able to give out some scholarships this weekend, to some very deserving college student or high school students who have been giving in our Key Wins organization. It's part of Key Club. And many of them focus in on food insecurity, and focus in on one of the winning awards is ending 68 hours of hunger. I'm not sure. Do you guys have that program out where you are in Virginia Beach?
I have not heard of a program like that out here as of yet.
Okay, it needs to be there. And ending 68 hours of hunger is on Friday at lunchtime. Usually that's the last time a child gets a warm, full meal at school. And then the next full meal that they may really get is Monday morning when they go back to school. So that 68 hours of hunger is really tough. And most parents are so proud that they don't want to have special meals. The kids can't share, that they're not eating over the weekends. And so it's providing backpacks and box lunches to every child in a school. So no one feels like they're less than.
They do have that here, but I think it was called the Red Bag something, to where they were doing that. But there are different organizations that do that, but it's hard to know who's doing what, because it's not so organized that we will know about it.
Right, exactly. That's why in the short time I've been here, I'm not familiar with any of our key clubs here in this area doing anything like that specific. But like you said, another organization could be wrapping that up. All right, I'm going to step aside for our last break of the day. When we come back, we still have so much to do. You know what we got left to do. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. We'll be right back.
If you want attention, you need more than an ad. You need a presence. Welcome to WWDBTV, your internet streaming TV station built for business and people. We create high-impact commercials and video podcasts with pro production. Then we help distribute your show where audiences already watch and listen. Your brand, your story. Broadcast ready. On streaming, on social, and beyond. Ready to be seen? Visit WWDBTV.com and book your production today.
Hey everybody, Aaron Phillips here from the Kiwanis Connects show. Hey, are you trying to recruit for new members? Do you have a huge event coming up that maybe is your biggest fundraiser of the year? But you need to do something different to let people know that it's happening. The same old gives you the same old routine and results. Well, we've got an idea for you. The Kiwanis Connects show offers the opportunity to have customized commercials created to help your club get your message out. And you know what? One of the extra wonderful points of this opportunity is we provide it as a fundraising opportunity for every $50 donation for the commercial goes to the Rose Float Kiwanis Club. That's right. The very same Rose Float that we see on television every New Year's that represents Kiwanis International will now be supported by these Kiwanis Connects commercials. So, if you want more information to get involved, just drop us an email at kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. That's kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. Get your 30, 60, or 90-second customized commercial today, and let's help the Rose Float Kiwanis Club continue to plant its seeds for success.
Have you ever wanted to dress like a Hall of Fame broadcaster, but didn't know where to begin? In 2018, Aaron Phillips was inducted in the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame, and The Voice was born. Aaron has been part of many successful podcast programs, and branding those programs plays a vital role. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and order the latest embroidered products featuring the logos of many of Aaron's shows. Discounts and flat shipping rates are available on all orders, regardless of quantity, on men's, women's, and kids' apparel, and many accessories. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and let Aaron's voice speak to you.
All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. There she is. Doc Val out in Cali. I have Beverly here from Jonathan Kerr's organization. The website will be trailing at the bottom of the screen, jonathancares.org. They help support the local community with those in need of some food. And we were just talking about all the fundraising and the philosophy and all the partnerships and all the great work that they do. I would like to give Beverly a second to kind of catch her breath. So, Doc Val, if it's okay with you, let us shift gears and we'll shift to Melissa for a moment. Is that all right?
Sounds good.
As always, Melissa Atwell.
Hi, I'm Melissa Atwell, here with your mental health moment. Stress needs an outlet. Stress doesn't just disappear. It leaks and pours over into your life. Move your body, talk about it, or journal. Your stress needs somewhere to go. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
All right, thank you, Melissa, as always. All right, Doc Val, are you ready for some wow moments?
I am.
All right, John, let's hit it.
Woo! Okay, I get very excited about this one today.
All right.
I need to do a major shout out to, it's called Trenchant Biosystems. And it's led by one of my main mentors and friends, Phil Coelho, out here in our area. And cancer is one of those things that impacts every country, every walk of life, every stratosphere. And the solutions that are out there right now are not meeting the needs of our world. But over the past 5 years, Trenchant Biosystems has developed something that will ultimately save 10 to 20,000 lives that are not being saved right now, because they are doing something that no one else has ever done. And I'm going to take this minute because I really need to. They just put out their press release and finally got the funding that they needed so that you go from a 35 to 45 day process to process your cancer cells and get something that will help you. Most people die in that time period because it's a last ditch effort because you send it to one point. Well, they've developed a system that reduces the price and the time by 95%,
Wow.
which means that you can have your cancer cells removed from your body in the morning at 7 a.m. and you can go back in the afternoon at 6 p.m. and get the treatment. And it goes through all the FDA testing and everything. And so this is going to change the world and how we do things. And I want to give a shout out to Phil for this is his last big biosystems product because he wanted to give the gift of saving lives back. So that's my wow. And
Right
I'm
on.
sorry I'm crying because I just lost another friend to cancer this week, and cancer sucks.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Well, congratulations to the
Yes.
cause.
Amen.
And again, another legacy-like advancement to save others. All right. Before we get to bad dad jokes, which I know everybody wants to delay. Anyway, let's come back to Beverly here. So in a couple of
Absolutely.
minutes, let's kind of talk about, we have a couple of minutes. The floor is yours. What would be your message that you'd like to give to folks in terms of supporting the cause, needs, whatever you feel you want to send as the message to the world? No pressure.
Thank you. Well, one thing I would like to say is that hunger, disabilities and special needs, sickness, illnesses, these things are irrespective of person.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much money you have, you cannot buy health. And the one thing I know is that these issues can affect anybody, anywhere, anytime. I want people to start behaving with more empathy, more compassion, more love for the person. So when you see someone standing on the corner, don't be so quick to judge. Don't be so quick to judge that person because something, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what is happening with them. You don't know that they may be taking that money and going to get a hotel for the night, or they may be taking that money to go buy something to eat for their grandmother. You don't know what they're doing with their money. Don't be so quick to judge.
Mm-hmm.
Grassroots organizations like Jonathan Cares, we need you. We need the business community to decide to allow us to be that wonderful tax write-off, but also at the same time to be able to show you the impact that we're doing. We got to remember that there is a wheel that's turning, and that wheel does not turn without us.
Mm-hmm.
Because big organizations, medium-sized organizations, small organizations, they need organizations like Jonathan Cares with those boots on the ground.
Yes.
They need us turning the wheel. So please give it some thought and think about supporting nonprofits like Jonathan Cares. Go to jonathancares.org and hit the yellow button and think about supporting us. When you give to us, you're giving to those that we support. You're supporting families, seniors, children in college, and those children that are in those schools. And listen, a lot of our kids are not eating the food.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to help the kids. We have to help the community. So please go to jonathancares.org, hit the big yellow button, and please come see us at the pop-ups and come to the car show and bring your beautiful cars.
There you go. Well said.
Can I add something into that with you guys?
Yeah, of course.
When I was looking at your wish list, there are a couple of companies on the East Coast that I know they don't have it in their bottom line to be able to make a cash donation. It's just not possible. They're struggling with a bunch of different things, but they have some of the items that you have on your wish list. And so if there's anybody in the Norfolk area, if you've got an open warehouse space because you have reduced your footprint, they're looking for a warehouse. If you have an extra forklift, because I know that with all the automation that's happening with Amazon and all those other companies, that extra forklift is sitting and going to rust out, and it's already depreciated. So instead of it breaking down, make a donation of the forklift. Couple electric pallet jacks, manual pallet jacks. We're talking any way to help with the pallet racking, because when those donations come in, they don't come in little boxes. They come in on pallets. And if you've seen a pallet, it is difficult to make possible to access and move around. And then the last one, which was something I think our Kiwanis family can help you out with, and that you want more support with your website development, the outreach, because that's when people in the middle of the night are figuring out, okay, I'm wandering around. I saw Jonathan Cares, but that little yellow button's not getting my interest. But if I saw more pictures in the gallery or whatever, so if there's a key clubber out there that has time in the middle of the night, they need website development.
Yeah, no. You hit, it's funny. I'm happy with the last thing you brought up, because we had a meeting here about 10 days ago, where I went through their website as a courtesy as we were talking about all of this, and I literally pulled apart their website with recommendations. And Val, what you just talked about for their website with pictures and galleries was like the top of the list of what I suggested. And her daughter, the one who's out in Curacao right now enjoying her birthday, usually handles a lot of the website stuff. So they do have a slew of recommendations to upgrade and to kind of revamp their website. And I did suggest internships, right, through TCC and everything else. So thank you for validating my worth when it comes to the website stuff.
I was up doing this. I don't know what to do. I don't want to mess it up, but I did change and put the logo on there, except I put it on there wrong, but it's there. So I do need that kind of
don't be embarrassed, because it's like all of our organizations need to take a look at ourselves and see what the face forward is, because we're doing amazing things, but what people see are what's on Instagram or what's on LinkedIn or what's on Facebook, and they're going, I don't see it, even though we are busting hiney to get stuff done. And there are people that they're so homebound now since COVID, they don't want to leave their house, but they want to help.
Right.
And so just asking those folks, can you spend a little time and help us look good?
That's a great idea. Absolutely. And that is something that we will work on, and we'll get the right people involved with the website. So that's some good stuff. And you brought up Amazon. There's a Kiwanis member that I am working with, that her and her husband they actually have a big Amazon distribution warehouse in Portsmouth that they're divesting out of, but they're taking on new ventures. And I wrote myself a note to reach out to them to see everything from warehouse space to forklifts and all that sort of stuff. So I will make that call. And so your little tickler there certainly helped. All right, we're down to a couple of minutes. So we're ready to shift gears to the final act before I lose the rest of the audience on these bad dad jokes. All right, John, let's hit it. All right, it's time for some bad dad jokes that they're so bad they're actually very good. That's right, I said it. Today's jokes are themed around St. Paddy's Day, which is Tuesday. So in all honesty, if you guys have St. Patrick Day parades and all that stuff, go out, have a good time, but please be safe and be smart on the side. All right, here you go. Here's the first one. Remember, folks, I just read them. I don't write them. What kind of spells do leprechauns use? What kind of spells do leprechauns use? They use
Charms.
Lucky Charms. Give one to Doc Doc. Where do leprechauns hang out? Where do leprechauns like to hang out? They like to hang out on the patio. Let that one sink in for a moment. Okay, there you go. There you have it. What conversation can you expect from a leprechaun? What conversation can you expect from a leprechaun? One with a lot of small talk. You liked that one. You liked, sure. All right. All right. What position do leprechauns play in baseball? What's a leprechaun's best position in baseball?
Shortstop.
There you guys, just as John Don Beverly said it too. So all right, there you go.
Not even cheating either.
No, you're not. What is? You can see this if you wanted to.
I know. You know.
That's right. Well, I know. What is St. Patrick's favorite drink? What is St. Patrick's favorite drink? I just realized I should take down the screen behind me. What is his favorite drink? Anybody? Green tea, of course. There you go. And in honor of St. Patrick's Day, show on the wall today.
It's like I've got
Why are leprechauns so earth conscious? Why are leprechauns so earth conscious? Because they're big on going green. That's why. How only a couple of more to endure, ladies and gentlemen. How old are leprechauns? How old are leprechauns? Old enough to remember when rainbows were black and white. Next to last, you like that one. That's got a little afterburn to it when you think about it, doesn't it, Val?
It does.
Why should you never iron a 4-leaf clover? I have a funny feeling John will know this one because this one would be right up his alley. Why should you never iron a 4-leaf clover? Because you don't want to press your luck. Last but not least, this one has a little Las Vegas flavor to it. What is green and sings? And no, it's not Kermit the Frog, so let me get rid of that one right away. What is green and sings? Why, Elvis Parsley, of course. Thank you. Thank you very much. I just read them. And that does it, ladies and gentlemen. Elvis is leaving the building. Beverly, thank you for coming in and
for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, and by the way, as always, feel free to use these at your St. Patty's Day parties on Thursday. So, all right, that does it. Val, let's wrap it up with some final thoughts from your end there in California.
Oh my goodness. You know, I think that one of the things that Beverly said earlier today, and Andy liked your jokes.
I know. Thank you, Andy. That's the only one listen, he's the only one I care about that likes them. Andy, thank you. Oh, Steve Nagel. Yeah, Nagel is he's the opposite of Andy, Steve Nagel.
I love Steve, though. And so as we're going through this, one of the things that you shared earlier that I really want us to leave home with is you never know what other people are going through. And so it's not for us to judge. It's for us to support and to give dignity. And it's also to give our own selves grace because we're all going through something. And so while we cannot always give all the time, we can give when we have the ability to. And that giving is love. So thank you all for being here. Beverly, you are amazing. And I keep thinking, I looked at your family pictures and everything. We got to talk. Absolutely got to talk more because what you're doing, I think, is a model that can be used around the world.
I will make sure she has your contact info before she departs. As always, everybody, thank you for watching. Real quickly, a couple of programming notes. Tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips in this very seat. Laurel Brushingham, she's the founder and CEO of Elite Financial Services. All the tax information you could ever want to discuss, learn, or know about, as well as if you want to get into the industry, she can also teach you how to do that. And then from 12:30 to 1 p.m. on local channel, Cox Cable Channel 4, Sky TV, the voice of 757 with guests Naima Ford from TCC, Tidewater Community College, and local comedian Fred McKinnon will be the highlight of the show. If you missed the show, don't worry about it. Go to the Facebook page after it airs on TV. I upload the video so everybody can continue to enjoy. With that, everybody, as always, thank you for watching. Be kind to everybody. Why? We are all we have. We'll see you next week right here in Kiwanis Connects, and I now call this meeting adjourned.